we spend too many hours a day spending time on them. Let's talk about Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg. How much time do you think Mark Zuckerberg spends in a day on the Facebook app or on the Instagram application? This might come as a shock to you, but not much time. These are his products and he's supposed to make them better, but he doesn't just go on Instagram or Facebook and endlessly scroll feeds. Because if he does that, he cannot grow his platform. His platform will become stagnant. And this is what we must understand. Any successful person, you name them, if you go and check their life history, and you will see that how they honored their time, how they spent their time was why they are where they are today. And as a young generation, when we are very tech savvy with all of these new technologies coming in that help you talk to someone in the United States on a video call, none of this was possible 3 decades ago. So we are really blessed to be in such times, but also we should understand how much time to spend on these platforms. Okay, so then let's say, okay, I have stopped or I have reduced my time on these platforms. Now I just spend a healthy 15-20 minutes seeing updates about the people I care about. What do I do with the time that I save? One thing you can do, the very obvious thing is you can study. And I think everyone on the webinar will agree, including the teachers, that it is very important to give more time to studies. But also, as Mr. Manas rightfully said, we are talking about something more than studies here. So, what you can do to spend your time productively is you can read books. If any of you have already a habit of reading books, congratulations, it's a brilliant habit. It has literally changed my life. If people don't read books, I encourage you to go ahead, pick up any book, even if it's science fiction. Just get into the habit of reading something new. That is going to skyrocket your way to success. Some people don't like reading books. They say we are already reading so much of syllabus books that we don't want to see books anymore. So for those people, you can go ahead and watch on YouTube, watch on TED Talks, you can watch inspirational videos. There is so much knowledge out there. There are so many people willing to share that knowledge, many of them for free. You can go to YouTube and there are these people who are very well known, very well loved motivational speakers like Mr. Sandeep Maheshwari, like Gaur Gopal Das, like Jay Shetty. These people have made their life teaching people, teaching others how to make the most of their lives, how to live a healthy and successful life. And all of that is free. We are we have been born with this silver spoon in our mouth, the silver spoon of technology, so we don't really comprehend and we take these things for granted. But we are truly blessed to be able to get so much knowledge for free on these platforms available 24/7. And now with smartphones and the internet prices going down, in case you did not know, India has the cheapest internet providers. Anywhere you go in the world, it's way more expensive. So we are blessed to be living in a country where internet is so cheap and it is available to almost everyone, at least in the main cities of the country. We have platforms like YouTube, TED Talks. You go to TED Talks, and there are so many personalities, Pick a topic that interests you, go and just search, and you will find so many people who are doing so many great things in that field itself. Other than that, one thing that you can do is that keeps your mind sharp and it keeps your curiosity up as well as adds value to your CV. Once you get out of college, you have to go and find a job. You have to go and get a job. And if you are competing against someone who has all the knowledge the book gives them, all the knowledge of the syllabus, all the knowledge of the practical exams, but no knowledge of any other skills or no additional knowledge to what is being taught in college. If you are competing against such a person, let me assure you, you are going to win. If you add a few skills to your arsenal, you are going to win that competition. It is very important. There are nowadays, due to the coronavirus pandemic, due to the lockdown, these platforms have become more prevalent. There's Udemy, there's Vedantu, there's Shaw Academy. There's so many. Just go and start learning some new skills. And once you start on the path of learning skills, you will enjoy it so much that you cannot stop learning. And let me tell you something about life. If you think once you get out of college, the learning is over, it's not like that. That's when the real learning begins. That's when you learn about life. And no matter what field you choose, there are so many advancements happening every year in every field that you must keep learning. Apart from this, some light-hearted things that you can spend your time with. You can spend your time with your family, which thankfully we have gotten a chance of due to the COVID lockdown. You can spend some time alone. We'll come to this. We'll come to how you can spend time alone and what you can do with your time. And one very important thing is exercise. It helps keep your mind, body, spirit, everything healthy. Just go for a walk. If you don't want to join a gym, just go for a walk. Just do yoga. Just join a dance class. Do any kind of exercise. Spend at least half an hour of your day doing some kind of physical exercise. You will see the benefits in time. You will not regret this decision. Coming to the main agenda, mental health. What is mental health? Uh, the term health means something that is in a good state, in a productive state. And just like we know physical health means there are no diseases, there is good amount of strength, there is good immunity, and you feel good, you are fit as you want to be. That is being physically fit. This is well known in the society, in the world. Very few people talk about being mentally fit. How do you become mentally fit? First of all, how do you analyze whether you are currently having a healthy mind or an unhealthy mind? So, this is an activity that needs to be done by each individual on themselves. You need to see the kind of thoughts that you are entertaining. Each and every one of us has positive thoughts and negative thoughts. If you notice that you are more and more towards the negative thoughts, that means you need to improve on your mental health. If you notice that you are more positive, you are entertaining positive thoughts, you are more motivated, and you are more faithful than you are worrisome, that means you are mentally healthy. Let's talk about one thing that is very, I can say it's ubiquitous these days. Everyone seems to think that they are suffering from this, although that's not true. You can see the guy on the screen. How do you feel? How do you think he's feeling? What is the feeling he's experiencing?
Sad.
Depressed.
Depressed, exactly. So, this is what is happening. Everyone is talking about depression. Many people don't even understand what depression is. Many people think loneliness is depression. Many people think not being positive all the time is depression. Many people think just feeling sad about some things is depression. Many people think when they are facing grief of losing a loved one, that is depression.
Excuse
None
me,
of
sir.
this, yes, okay. So none of this is really depression. Depression, if I put it simply, is lack of productive activity. That's what depression is. So if you are not having a productive routine, if you are not involved in activities that are going to grow you, if you just keep sitting on the sofa and binge watching series, that is going to leave you depressed. That is one of the major causes of depression because we stay indoors, we don't go out. Earlier, when I was a kid, our parents had to bring us back from outside. We used to play so much outside. They used to catch hold of us and they used to actually scold us. Why are you playing all the time? Come inside. It's the opposite these days. Kids and even teenagers, even young adults, they are so glued to their screens that they don't go outside. They don't venture outside, and that is one of the main reasons why we are seeing more and more cases of depression. One more cause that is, I would say, not very well known is lack of exposure to sunlight. We'll come to that. So, how to beat depression? Let us first see what should someone who is already feeling depressed, or at least they are on their way to becoming depressed, how should they come out of it? How should they beat it? So the number one thing you can do is go outside early morning when the sun has just started rising. Go and have a walk, go jog, go run, go to a garden. Go to somewhere there are ample number of trees. What this will do is it will give you the sunlight that your body needs to secrete the hormones that keep you happy. It will give you, it will give your body, your organs, and your brain enough fresh oxygen that it needs to stay healthy. As well as when you go for running or walking, that is the best exercise. There's no better exercise than running or walking. There are people who are going to or joining gyms and building up really hefty bodies. It's good to do that. If they are passionate about it, they should do that. But I have seen people who are really bulky, uh, who have a V-shaped proper body, but they have very less to no immunity. That's not being healthy. If you go outside, morning sun, go for a walk, that is going to help you beat depression and that is going to keep you healthy for the rest of your life. If in case someone cannot do that, are not able to do that, or they tried and still they are feeling depressed, please find a counselor or a coach who can help you come out of it faster. There are experts out there who have made this their living. Don't be ashamed to ask for help. Don't be ashamed to accept that there is something that needs to be improved. Go see someone, a professional helper that can help you out. I have always believed, and I think many of us have heard this since we were kids, that prevention is better than cure. Let me be the first to tell you, it's much easier to prevent depression than it is to come out of it once you already have it. So if you are still not in that state, congratulations. Here's a lifeline. Do the things that will keep depression away. It's not a good state to be in. I can tell you 100 things how to come out of depression, but it's not easy. It's easier to prevent it. How do you prevent it? So there are some natural remedies, like I already talked about: sunlight, fresh oxygen. There is exercise, there is yoga, there is meditation, there is deep breathing, and you just go onto the internet and find how to stay healthy. And you will find 100 ways that are going to help you stay healthy, not just the body, but the mind as well. Once you do these things, once you somehow make an addiction to exercise, somehow make an addiction to uh, going out, inhaling that fresh oxygen, and feeling good. Once you get how feeling good really, really feels, you will never want to stop these activities. You will never, ever want to go back into that state where you are not feeling good. Here's one thing that I found out very late in my life, just a few years ago. This one thing can be the catalyst to have you in such a sound mental health, to have you in such good spirit and such a good mood all the time. I cannot stress it enough. And I'm not sure how many people are aware of the concept, so I'll talk a little bit about it. An attitude of gratitude is being thankful every day for the things that you already have. It's easy to focus on I want this, I want this, I want this, I want that. And that is good. You should be focused on what you want. But if you acknowledge and if you give thanks, if you truly feel grateful for what you have already been given, you are going to keep such a healthy perspective towards life that no amount of negativity, no amount of discouragement is going to bring you down. Now, let me tell you how you can do this. Just take about 5 minutes in the morning and make a list of the things that you are grateful for. If if this is a new concept for you, let me just take a minute and give you a few examples. You can be grateful for having education, going to a college. You can be grateful for having eyes which help you see. There are many people who are visually blind in the world. You are not, so that's a very big thing to be grateful for. You have ears using which you can hear me talk, using which you can hear all the lectures in college. You have a nose that helps you smell amazing flower fragrances, that helps you breathe, and breathing keeps you alive. You have a mouth with using which you can eat and give nourishment to your body. You have a voice. You can talk and express yourselves. These are just 5 or 6 things that I have just about scratched the surface. If you honestly sit and think about it, it's an endless list, and you will never be able to list an exhaustive things of list of things that you are grateful for. Because each and every day, so many things happen that we don't notice. We take things for granted. There are so many miracles happening in everyone's life. It's just that we have become so busy with our routines that we don't really take some time and acknowledge what we have been given. And you will come to see there are so many things that you never even asked for. You already have it. You have parents. Talk to someone who does not have parents. They will tell you what a blessing parents are. They are the people that we most tend to take for granted. And we really, really should not. They have spent their entire lives ever since we were born to raise us and to help nourish us, to foster us. So ideally, in the morning, 5 minutes, even 2 minutes is okay. If you find 5 minutes is too much, even 2 minutes is okay. Or in the night before going to bed, just run through all the things that happened during the day. Notice the things that went right. Notice the things that went how you wanted to, how you wanted them to go, and just be grateful for it. How to be grateful for it? Just say it in your mind, or even better, say it out loud. Just say this 3 times. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Take a deep breath and keep continuing the exercise. That is going to set your mind on a really, really enlightened path. Okay, so why did I talk about time on a webinar that is supposed to be on mental health? As I said, depression comes when there is lack of activity. And if you utilize your time well, and if you put in enough activities during the day that help you learn, that help you grow, or some simple activities that you really like doing. For some, it would be playing a musical instrument. For some, it would be learning a new language. For some, it could even be playing a game. If you have enough activities in your schedule, you will not have time to be depressed. That's the crux of the matter. That is why I think time management is really essential when you talk about mental health. Now, let us talk about the elephant in the room, COVID 19. We have all been hit really hard. None of us expected anything like this throughout our lives, but here we are facing it, fighting it, and this is this probably will be the first pandemic in most of our lives, but it's not the first pandemic to ever hit humanity. If you see how humans have reacted in the past, we have not given up. We have gotten back up on our feet. We have started life again. And we have taken it to a much better level than it used to be before. So I know right now it might be feeling a little bad that we are not even able to go to college, we are not even able to meet our friends, we are stuck at home all the time. Let me assure you, this is just a pause. This is not the stop, this is not the end. We are going to come out of it, we are going to fight out of it. If you've been reading the news, you know UK is already ready with rolling out the Pfizer vaccine starting next week. That is a huge boost, moral boost for every one of us. Soon, other countries and also India will adopt to the vaccine. And I cannot say that the virus will be completely defeated, but at least we can defeat the pandemic. Just hold on for a little while longer, be a little patient, use this time to spend with your family because once everything starts again, that's what we are going to miss most, spending time with family. Use it to work on yourselves, use it to improve your health. It's okay, don't go out, do yoga at home, do meditation at home, do other exercises at home. Just don't give up. This is going to pass. And if you do go out, please be well informed about the disease, about the precautions that you are supposed to take. Take the precautions, stay home as much as possible, and educate others who are having misconceptions of the disease or misconceptions of the precautions, because you have internet, you are tech savvy, you can go and research it online, you can talk to doctors, they will explain you what it is, what precautions to take, how to stay away from COVID. And regardless, even if it's COVID or if it's anything else, any adversity that you face in your life, make this your mantra for life. Write this on a piece of paper or print it out, whatever suits you. Stick it somewhere. You will see it at least 3 to 4 times every day. Stick it on your mirror, stick it on your bathroom mirror, stick it on your house door, or keep a wallpaper on your phone or on your laptop so that you can keep seeing this phrase again and again. This too shall pass. It will pass. It's already, we are already making great progress, and it is going to pass. Just don't let this time get the best of you, and don't let it pull you towards negativity. Work on all the things that I talked about throughout this webinar, and you will see great changes, amazing changes in your routine and overall in your life. So, this was all that I wanted to talk about. I'm sure after listening me talk for best part of half an hour, there might be some questions in your mind, and I think we can take questions now. Manas sir, Apala ma'am, hello.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Students, you make questions one by one.
Sir,
Okay?
so my name is
But you can
Nigamesh.
make questions on your chat box.
Acha.
It's okay if you want to say them, and it's okay if you want to put them in the chat box. It's totally fine. Let's just make sure that it's one by one.
So I want to ask that these days people get annoyed very quickly. Like they don't take time or they don't understand and they just react.
Mhm.
So how to overcome that?
Okay. So the problem why people get annoyed is lack of patience, because nowadays we don't have patience. Let me give you an example. You go and you post something on Facebook. Within 20 seconds, 30 seconds, you will go back and check if someone has liked that post or not. Because that is how impatient we have all become. These social media, this is another disadvantage of them, that they are making people really impatient. And everything is so easily accessible to us that we have not really gotten an opportunity to build the patience. And that is why you should spend more time alone. You should try to meditate and contemplate on what is making you angry or what is making you impatient. And if you follow the routines that I talked about, exercising, going out to a garden for a morning walk, these things automatically help you increase your patience.
Yes, sir. So, sir, I have one more question. That is,
Sure.
how does sleeping pattern influence your mental health?
Okay, very good question. Thank you. Thank you for asking that. So, sleeping pattern definitely has a huge impact on your entire life because uh, what we do in the hours that we are awake, that is our conscious mind operating. That is, those are things we do voluntarily. But there are a lot of things that happen involuntarily in our body, and just like you do a restart on your phone or you do a restart on your computer, sleep is when your body replenishes uh, everything that was learned throughout the day and becomes ready for the next day. So, and you may have heard people saying that you definitely need to sleep for at least 8 hours. You will also hear some people say even 5 to 6 hours sleep is okay. It's different for each and every individual. I think everyone should experiment with it. Just try 8 hours, 7.5, 7 hours for 1 week, 2 weeks, and see how much amount of time your body needs to be ready, to be energetic enough to go throughout the next day. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. And so one more question on the
Sure.
same topic, that is,
Mhm.
I have seen that when we sleep at night, and the people who do night shift and get back from work and sleep, they have two different mental health. Like they're more annoyed and they're more frustrated.
Mhm.
So how does that count?
Uh, there are people who have night shifts, like you rightly said, and if everyone had a day job, it would be wonderful. But unfortunately, some people have to go for a night shift, and our body cycle is supposed to be in sync with the cycle of the earth, with the cycle of a day. When the sun rises, we are also supposed to rise. And these people having night shifts, they are sleeping during the day and they are active during the night. And because of that, they don't get the right amount of sleep. You can ask anyone, they will not be able to sleep for continuous 6, 7, 8 hours during the day. They don't get the right amount of fresh oxygen, fresh sunlight, and that is, I don't want to get too technical here, but there are hormones that some endocrine glands in the body secrete that are responsible for our happiness, that are responsible for our health, and these hormones, these glands are in sync with the biological cycle, with the day's cycle, getting up at morning and sleeping at night. So it's really unfortunate that some of the people have night shifts, but it's better to have a job than not have one. I hope
Thank
that
you so.
answers your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nicholas.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
I have a question that we know some people who are really established. They earn great money. They have a lot of time, or and they managed their time very well. But still,
Hmm.
they are depressed and they can't find happiness in their daily work style. So, what is the reason behind it?
Can you give me some example who you are referring to?
Many like many businessmen who
Mhm.
are earning great, but they are depressed. And in recent times, we've seen paper that some commitments of suicides regarding depression is happening.
Hmm.
So, what's the reasons behind that?
So the simplest reason is they are so occupied with growing their business and earning money that they don't focus on other important things in life. They don't focus on physical health. They don't focus on mental health. They don't take time out for themselves. When you say they have time for others. They don't give time to themselves. That is very, very important. It's very good that you entertain people, that you are approachable, that people come to you to talk, to find solutions. But unless and until you keep some time for yourself, every day, that is going to lead lead to such mental trauma down the line. So you said they are very wealthy, they are very rich. I'm not the first one to tell you this, but I want to say it. Money is not happiness. Money is not a healthy mind. Money is just a tool, that it's just a form of energy that you can exchange with someone in exchange for some goods or services. That's what money is. If you have a million or $1 billion in your bank account, that does not mean that is going to keep you happy. That is going to give you all the comfort and all the luxury that you want, but it does not guarantee happiness.
Sir, that means money can uh, fulfill our luxury but can't buy happiness.
Correct, correct. It can see. There are people who say uh, it is much more comfortable sleeping on a 6 by 6 bed than it is sleeping on the road. I agree to that, and we do need money to live our lives, to live a decent lives. But just because we have so many rupees in our bank account, or we earn so much every month, it's not going to guarantee happiness. It's not going to guarantee you health. And 90% of the rich people, they are more and more focused on making more money. You can see in your circle and try to figure out these people and see what talk to them. Just ask them, and you will come to know their main priority is making money. Making money is important. It should not be anyone's top priority. Top priority should be to live a healthy life, to live a happy life, to be able to add value to others' lives. Did I answer?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm extremely
Thank
happy with
you.
your reply.
So, okay, thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
First of all, sir, thank you for the webinar. It really helped me a lot. So my question is, what can one do if someone feels like he's left out in a social or some kind of setting, in a social setting mainly? What can he do if he feels like he's left out?
Okay. So, when you say left out, you mean maybe
Like,
there are. Yeah, please.
so like we can see that someone like his friends group do not feels like talking or interacting with him, or his friend groups behaves some differently to him compared to others.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
what steps can be taken so that he doesn't feel like there is a hole in him, something like that.
Okay. Okay. That's a great question. Thank you. Uh,
Thank you, sir.
See, the more time you spend by yourself, the more you will realize that you need people only to a certain extent in your life. And just like you said, there is fear of missing out. FOMO, I think that is what it is called these days. So uh, now nowadays it is so easy to meet new people. It has never been easier. And if someone is feeling left out of a particular group, number one thing you can do is you can communicate uh, truthfully, honestly to that group that you are feeling left out. If they still don't get where you are coming from, find more like-minded people. There are so many people who may have similar interests like you, and go on social media. This is one of the advantages of social media. Go on social media, find like-minded people, find new groups. One way to do this is like you are attending this webinar. Attend other webinars of topics of your interest. You will definitely reach out to new people who are also interested in the same thing, and that really gets a conversation going. And if two people are like-minded even for a couple of things, then it's easy to make conversation. I have attended seminars and I have made friends for life. I have met people who have really helped me grow. So it's okay if a particular group of friends does not want you to be in that group. We are 7 billion people. Go out and find more. No problem.
Mr. Binoy, we get some questions in our chat box. Please answer the questions of your chat box.
Okay, yes, ma'am. So I see a question from, sorry, Abhijit, was your question answered?
Yes, sir. So thank you, sir.
Okay, okay, thank you. I see a question from Abhishek. Abhishek, how can someone deal with overthinking? So this is also a very prevalent problem. I should acknowledge it. Overthinking happens when you are sitting idle. No one in the world, if they are engaged in some activity, are going to keep thinking about something else. We might digress from the focus from the topic for a little bit, but if you keep yourself engrossed in activities, you will find less and less time idle. And if you don't have idle time, you will not overthink. If you start spending time in silence, if you start meditating, if you start working out, you will see that you will start to enjoy your time alone instead of feeling lonely or feeling depressed or having thousand thoughts a minute. You will actually notice that you will enjoy your time alone. I hope I have answered that question. Next is from Monali Singha. Oh, yes. Thank you, Abhishek. How can I ignore negativity in our daily life and how can I find out more positivity? Okay. So, let me tell you one thing. Whatever you resist, it will persist. So, when you try to block negativity, you cannot do that. It will just, you will just keep seeing more and more of it. The second part of the question is the answer to the first part. You need to find out more positive things to do. What is a positive thing? A positive thing is something that makes you happy. It is something that helps you learn something new. And there are things that each and every one of us, we won't even know why we like doing those things, but there are things that really give us joy. For example, for me, it is playing a tabla or playing bongos. It has been there since I was a kid. I used to just run my fingers on every surface that I found, and I used to make some music out of it. I don't know how it came about, but that's something I really, really love doing. And that is one thing where you can focus on your passion, focus on your joy. Other thing I already talked about in the presentation, uh, go to YouTube, find inspirational people, and find more positivity. There are so many content creators out there who are just creating content so that they can spread some positivity into your lives. Even I have a YouTube channel. My motive is also the same, to educate people to become more positive, to live a better life. And I'll be sharing the link in some time, and you can go and check it out. So I think I answered the question, Monali. Okay, let's move on. So Shabranti Chakraborty, how to deal with failure not only in study but in every aspect when you are near to success, but you have to back off. Especially if you are introvert and you cannot share anyone, how you can deal with that. Uh, Shabanti, uh, can you unmute yourself and explain your question a little more, if it's not a problem for you?
Yes, sir. My question is, with failure in every case. So not only in study, but in any case, when you are get succeeded in that,
Okay.
perfect
May I?
situation so you have to back off, then how can we deal with that?
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So the question is very good. How to deal with failure? I'm glad it is not how to avoid failure, because you cannot avoid failure. When you fail each time, you are learning something new. You are learning that this way does not work, and you will try another way to succeed at the thing that you are doing. So, how to deal with failure is very simple. Don't take the failure as a failure, take it as a stepping stone. Imagine a staircase, and you have to reach the top of that staircase. Each and every failure that you face is a step that you take upwards. It's not something it's not something that is going to hamper your growth. It is something that is going to help your growth. So if you fail at something in a certain way, try another way. Keep trying. If it's something you really, really want to succeed at, keep trying. And the funny thing about success is you never know that you are nearing success now. That's the funny thing, and that is the problem. Many people, like you rightly said, they give up just one or two steps before they are about to succeed. And that is why you should not give up and you should keep going. You should remember why you started working towards that thing. Once you remember that, okay, this is what I wanted to achieve and this is why I wanted to achieve it, that is going to keep you motivated to keep going. And trust me, if you keep going at something, if you really have it in your heart that I am going to succeed at this, you will. I don't care if you fail 1,000 times, but you will succeed at it. Thomas Edison, inventor of the light bulb, very well known, he failed 1,000 times before creating the light bulb. If he would have given up in the 900th time or in the 950th time, we would not be having light bulbs right now. Imagine the life that you would be living in. So just keep going and keep going. Okay, I see another question. Oh, thank you. Sir, how to gain patience? I can't hold my patience in everything, even in study. So, Sujata, is your question about patience or focus? You can type it in the chat if you want, no problem. Patience. Okay. This is a really difficult skill to master, and this is also one very important thing you need to learn. How you gain patience is uh, by noticing why you are losing patience. Because what happens is, let me give you an example. Since I'm working in the corporate sector, let me give you an example. We are in office, and I'm in office, and my boss says something to me that I really did not like. But I do not talk back to my boss because he's my boss. And then I come home, and even if the smallest of things that one of my family members tells me, it so happens that I uh, take out my rage on them. This is what is happening with almost everyone these days. So it's about noticing what is making you lose your patience, and it's actually a choice. Let me tell you, if you say you don't have patience, then you should not have patience in front of your boss as well. So we think it is something that we need to just learn, but every one of us knows how to be patient. We just don't notice it enough. We just don't work on it enough. So one very important exercise is you can meditate. Meditation, when you spend time alone with your thoughts, and there are many apps on the market that teach you how to meditate, voice guided meditations as well. I have a chapter in my book also that talks about meditation. You can go ahead and read that. Uh, sorry, Sujata, I did not get what you said. Even a math. Hello.
Hello. Uh, Binay, I am
Yes,
Sojit
sorry,
sir
Sujata.
here. Well, uh, actually, good afternoon, everybody. It is indeed a great pleasure to make some closing remarks. First of all, I would like to thank you from the side of management, on behalf of the management of the institute, Mr. Binoy Bajaj, for
Sir, sorry to disturb you. Uh,
ha ha sir.
can I just get a minute?
Hi, is it? Are you going on with
Yes,
the
yes.
question answer?
No, I just wanted to present a couple of slides
Oh, sure.
towards the end.
Okay, okay, no problem. You carry on.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So I see there are a lot of questions that a lot of people have, and we probably won't have enough time to address all of those
Oh,
questions right
that's
now.
true.
So if you can see the slide, this is how you can connect with me. Later on, after the webinar, I'll try to be as responsive as possible, and I I'll be obliged to be able to help anyone. And I know we are running out of time, so you can just contact me on these given social media handles. And what I would also like to do is I will post it in the chat box just before ending the webinar. Let me just do that right now so that it's easier for you. I'm also posting the link to my book in case anyone is interested. I'm really sorry I am not able to address all the questions right now. Please message me on these platforms and I would love to talk with you. And that's it. Once again, thank you so much to the college, to the faculty, Manas sir, Surajit sir, Apala ma'am. This would not have been possible without your support. I'm really grateful and I hope I added value to everyone's life. And thank you to the students who have been really patient throughout the webinar. And even the questions that came after the webinar were really great. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Uh, can I speak now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry.
Yeah. First of all, on behalf of the management, I want to thank Mr. Vinay Bajaj for this mesmerizing webinar. Everybody has enjoyed it a lot. And
Thank you.
yeah, and this is not the last webinar. We will looking for a long association with Mr. Bajaj
Sure.
to benefit our students, and I think Mr. Bajaj will find some time for
Sure.
us, particularly for our students. And in these connections, I would like to give thanks to all our staff and technicians who made this event possible. And thank you very much for all the students. Without their participation, the webinar would have not been a grand success. And one thing I would like to tell the students, whatever thing you learn, you apply it in your day-to-day life and make it really a successful one. And Mr. Bajaj, thank you very much once again and have a good day. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure, sir. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
আমি করে দিলাম টেকনিশিয়ান করে কথা নাম ভুলে গেছে
এবার আবার কোথা থেকে কি একটা বলছে হ্যাঁ আচ্ছা ময়ূর তুই